Hello, everyone. Welcome to GoTarryn TV. I'm Taryn, the traveling trainer with GoTarryn Personal Training here in the greater Atlanta area. And I hope your new year is off to an awesome start. And as an awesome interview today, we have an awesome individual all the way from California, Mr. Matt Cimber. You may know him as the founder and creator of the Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling. And we're going to be having him on here in just a few moments. Now, before we have him come on to today's show, I'd like to ask everyone out there if you please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you go ahead, give us a like for the video, leave us a comment, share it with all of your friends and family out there. Now, you may have seen Matt Cimber on here last year. He was on GoTarryn TV previously. And for those of you who know who Matt is, he is an Italian-American filmmaker, screenwriter, producer, director. He's got a couple of upcoming projects that I'm going to ask him about, and one of them involves Snoop Doggy Dogg, so we'll ask him about that and everything else that's going on in his world over there in California and get us caught up to speed on how his new year is going as well. So stay tuned. We'll be back with Mr. Matt Cimber. And remember, with GoTarryn Personal Training, it's your time, it's your investment, it's your life. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back, everybody. And on the line, as we promised, all the way in the West Coast, today we have Matt Cimber. How are you doing, Matt?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Very good. And what are you up to today, Matt? The New Year's. How's your New Year's been going so far?
Oh, well, my New Year has been very good because I did nothing. New Year's Eve for my wife and I, it's kind of amateur night, you know, so we don't go out. We stayed home last night, New Year's Eve. Mm-hmm. We stayed home and we watched, we had on Turner, they had Entertainment 1, 2, and 3. And so we watched 1, 2, and 3 until midnight, kissed each other, and went to bed, and it was lovely.
Nice. That's a great way to ring in the new year. Excellent. Did you have any New Year's resolutions, Matt?
Yes, to keep breathing.
Hey, I like that. That's an even better one. That's good.
I hope.
Well, so far it's working well.
Huh?
So far it sounds like it's working well.
Well, it's okay, and I keep going at it, you know. I've been keep working. I'm 83 years old.
Oh, that's great.
And, yeah, so, I stay at it. We're writing 2 scripts right now, one for the new show, Flow. It's
okay.
The pilot script. And we're working on the Tangerine Man, the new script.
Okay, can you tell us about Flow first, Matt? Because this is the first I'm hearing of this.
Yeah, Flow is a new program. It's a new show.
Mm-hmm.
It's a takeoff on the Real Glow.
Okay.
It's fabulous ladies of wrestling.
Okay.
And we've got a wonderful new contemporary cast. And it's going to be the same format as the original Glow was.
Very nice. Excellent.
Yeah, it's going to have the comedy, the action, the satire. It'll have all the elements that Glow had, the original Glow had. So, and we thought it was time that we came with a show that really reflected the real Glow. I mean, I think the present Glow doesn't really reflect the old Glow.
Mm-hmm.
It's done on a different level, a different kind of format, and it's been very successful. And we hear from people who say, we like the present Flow,
mm-hmm.
but we love the original Flow.
Mm-hmm.
With the humor and the fun and So we're developing that now.
That's excellent. When do you foresee being able to launch this? When do you think that's going to be coming out?
It'll take quite a few months to get the girls prepared. You know that I don't use in a female wrestling show, as in Glow, I don't use generally professional female wrestlers.
Right.
We train new girls, and all the girls who were enormously successful on Glow were trained from the beginning by us and other people who were involved, so that we took people who really had characterization. And the original flow was about character, and it was about things in our society and in our mores, and that's what we did takeoffs on. And they're telling us now we have to step forward on a kind of shaky attitude with some of the stuff that we did on the original flow may cause problems on the new flow. But if it does, it does. I mean, we try to see the world the way it is, and the way we have to accept it. And if we can have fun with it, why the heck not?
No, that sounds like a lot of fun. Matt, are you going to be having anyone from the original Glow that's going to be working on this Flow project with you?
Everybody. We've got all the original Glow girls will make guest appearances, not as wrestlers, but in which you will see their original footage and they'll be interviewed. And at the present time, we have, I guess I'll call her Dawn. She was the original hot blonde of the original Glow. She played Godiva, and she's a wonderful narrator, very, very, very lucid in her expressions and very sharp moments. So we've got enormous characters. We've got the original co-writers. We've got the musician, and I think it's, but some of the new characters, our host is a character called Handsome Harry of Hollywood, who's a super egomaniac and thinks all the women are in love with him. And we have other really tremendous characters that have, and that's what carried the original Glow, and that's what's going to carry this. They're fun to look. We're not plot happy, you know. We're not going to have any girl, and we don't use the language or the, you know, the present day Glow is taking present day habits and shifting them to the 80s, and we never had rough language. I don't believe in it, and because, as the Nielsen's always said, the original Glow appealed to a 14-year-old girl. So we're going to all, you know, we don't use the language they use, and we don't allow any dope, although cannabis is legal. We don't think somebody should climb in the ring stone. So in either event, or be guided by people that are stoned. It doesn't work for us. It seems to work for the present day Glow. Every other word is motherfucker. It takes the fun out of it, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And we don't think it's necessary at all. Yeah. So that's how the new flow will be. The new flow will have very new things, new attitudes, more contemporary stuff, but it will hold really to the fact that we don't want to rouse anybody with tough language.
That's excellent. Yeah, I agree. I think that I'm looking forward to that. That's gonna be exciting. So, Flow, that's awesome. And what do the original Glow Girls think of the project too? What has been their input on this?
Well, they haven't really been involved. Godiva is involved in it because she's made the sizzle reel for us, and she's going to be the one who calls the matches from the sideline.
Okay.
And then she'll interview all of the Glow Girls. We'll feature one Glow Girl in every show. One of the old Glow Girls. I hate to say old. One of the original girls.
Yes, original.
Exactly. Yeah. And that'll be kind of the fun of the whole thing, I think.
Nice. I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be a lot of fun. That's excellent. And I can't remember, since we last spoke, Matt, when that was last year sometime, we were speaking about Glow on Netflix, but did you complete watching the second season?
No. I've seen pieces of it.
Yeah.
And they picked up the rhythm a little bit and seemed to get into the characters a little bit better, but they still don't have the life. We had characters that, like our Russian, as much. There's an interesting article in People magazine. It's on their internet, where they did a comparison between old Glow and the new Glow, and it had some very valid points that it made. But I don't. To me, it's too soap opera-y, and it takes a look at the characters from a viewpoint that doesn't work for us on the original Glow. It wouldn't work for us. I don't want to know about one girl who's sleeping with a girlfriend's husband. It gets into, it's really for 2 o'clock or 11 o'clock on ABC. It's soapy. And that's not what we were. We were a takeoff on our society. All our characters had a special meaning. You don't get that in the present day Glow, Netflix Glow. You don't get the meaning of these people. We had wonderful people, the Heavy Metal Sisters, the Housewives, Godiva, and we did a takeoff on Dear Abby. We did things that were really radically different from a lot of what's on the present day Glow. But they seem to be successful. They're more than seeming to be successful. They're successful. And it catches on. But I still think that it's nothing like in terms of the delivery of the original Glow. The original Glow, we took from Hee Haw, we took from Laughing. That's where the characters would pop on and say, things that were funny and yet had to do with our society. And this show doesn't do that.
Yeah, I very much agree with you. The original Glow, not only you could watch that with children and kids, but it was just more witty, and I thought the story was just more fun to watch and had more originality. This reboot, the Netflix Glow, kind of like all the other shows, my problem with everything is, you're right, everything has to have cursing and sex and violence in it now, and it's just kind of in my estimation, made it the storyline cheaper for a lot of shows. Kind of just cheap thrills and sex, and just for the sake of having sex and language and all there. But I think the original Glow had a much, again, I think the best word I could use is originality and creativity. It's really hard to, redo the original, and many times it's very rare, I think, that you ever find something that the reboot or the re-edited version comes out and supersedes the original. And certainly that's not the case for this one either.
Yeah, it's really not. It's really not. And you have to face that. The only real objection I have to it, I mean, they have to do what they want to do.
Yeah.
The only thing that bothered me, and still does, is why they had to call it Glow.
Yeah.
And it was to take advantage of the fans of the previous original Glow.
Yeah.
And there was no sense to this. All they had to do was say, "Look, we're a wrestling show from the 80s and from the that play it the way they played it. I mean, who cares that you have to call it Glow?"
Mm-hmm.
It was silly and also misleading.
Oh, yeah.
Because there was still a lot of Glow fans out there. We hear from them every day about when are we going to see a Glow like the old Glow. I mean, it's, it would be as if you took Laughing and suddenly you made a show out of it. And you want to see the actors at home, and you want to see, that's, it's silly.
Oh, yeah.
It's silly.
Yeah.
But it's successful.
Yeah.
And that counts a lot in our business. Today, we judge everything by what's successful and what isn't. So I guess there's viewers there.
Yeah, no one knows more about that than yourself.
But we hear from a lot of people saying,
Mm-hmm.
Gee, we'd love to see some of the old Glow.
Yeah.
And
I'm one of them. I was an original fan, and so I could relate to what you're saying. Very good. We'll be on the lookout for Flow. And then tell us about, you mentioned this a few minutes ago, I'm not sure if I'm saying this correctly, but the work in progress of that Candy Tangerine Man?
Yes. I made a film, if you could believe this, I made a film in 1972, 73, called The Candy Tangerine Man. It was an enormous success.
Okay.
And it was a story about a black pimp.
Oh.
And the people said, how could you, you can't, I went to get my financing, and people said, man, nobody's going to want to watch a film that's about a black pimp. And I said, yeah, but he's a special character. And so the picture was an enormous success. And then recently, somebody kidnapped the film and put it on YouTube.
Oh.
And the film, I just had it taken off. The film had 1,250,000 viewers.
Oh, wow. Oh, my God.
Before I took it off. And I always wanted to do, I mean, if you got time, I'll tell you how I came to do that film. I met a fellow who was a black pimp,
Mm-hmm.
who used to come in and play at the burlesque house in the back. The guy who owned it was a friend of mine. I used to go there to play. He was from New York, and we would play pinochle. And this fellow came in, and he was very good looking, and he was very, very well put together. And the reason he came to visit my friend was because they would talk about the stock market, real estate. And this fellow was very bright.
Mm-hmm.
And I was amazed by him. And he said that he never got out of the third grade. And yet he spoke well. And I had done, I did the bio on Malcolm X. And it was a very similar kind of thing. In any event, he had a very healthy attitude about his attitude toward the girls. He was more of a guidance system, a protector.
Mm-hmm.
So when I made the film, it got enormous play. And I always thought that someday I would like to do a sequel, a present-day sequel when he is gone.
Oh, yeah.
And even the original pimp, at night he would go up with his car to Mulholland Drive in L.A., park his car, get out, and put on a nice button-down shirt and a tie, and he'd go home to his family.
Mm-hmm.
And that was part of the Superman,
mm-hmm.
the dual character.
Mm-hmm.
In any event, so now I'm doing a thing, and Snoop has said that he wants to, and he'd like to play this character. It's about a character who is a professor, a music professor at UCLA, whose uncle was the Candy Tangerine Man, and whose money put him through school, etc. And he gets involved with something to help the police find people who are kidnapping girls and selling them on the open international market, which is rampant today.
Mm-hmm.
Grabbing American, and they love college girls. They grab college girls and they send them to, not just to the Middle East, they send them to Japan, they send them to China, to Hong Kong, and it's disgraceful. And very, very, very torturing to people, to mothers and fathers who are involved with it. And they ask him through some of the knowledge of the Candy Tangerine Man, and it becomes an action piece. And I think it's going to be an exciting film. And Snoop has that, he's got a lot of dimension to himself. And he has a great viewpoint of himself and of life. And I think it's going to work. But meanwhile, we're working on the screenplay, and we hope another month or two we'll have a very workable screenplay.
Oh, that's wonderful.
That's all. Yeah. And it's got a good message, and it really, it's the message that some people do bad things in their lives, but they're also capable of doing something good. So I think it's going to be exciting.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's fun. It's fun. I'm glad you liked and you were a fan of the original Glow. You can't believe how I hear from so many people who were. And I think that I'm very happy that the present Glow at FedEx at Netflix, how it's involved and revived a lot of the interest in the old Glow girls. I mean, they're getting a lot of attention now, and attention that I think they deserve. They have a great history. Those that stuck it with the show, are getting some rewards now with the attention.
Yeah, no question about it. And a lot of them, as you know, Matt, are on Facebook, the original Glow Girls, and we're friends with them, and they're doing quite well too. All of them very successful, with their lives, and they've got 1 million fans. I mean, they're all out there. There's just tons and tons of fans out there on Facebook and social media. So I'm sure you see them on there all the time.
Yeah, they deserve them. Sadly, we lost Mount Fiji, which is actually heartbreaking. But it happens, and we also lost Big Bad Mama, who was a wonderful lady, and I really loved as a character. She was terrific. But the others they're thriving and they're moving. Hollywood is out there, Godiva's out there, and they seem to appreciate what the original Glow did for them, hopefully.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be good.
Oh
yeah.
Them. Yeah, certainly they'll benefit, absolutely. And I understand also, since we last spoke, Roxy Astor's daughter has a tryout with the WWE, the World Wrestling Entertainment. She's got a tryout match with them.
She's a terrific girl.
Yeah.
I wish she would have joined us, but she's going with the WWE. But she's a terrific little actress.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, I hope the WWE does right by her,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I bet they will. And again, like you said, the other Glow girls are doing great. One note I did want to mention, Matt, I don't know if you saw it on Facebook, but Matilda Huns, so she's in the hospital, so prayers and thoughts with her as well.
Oh, I didn't know she was in the hospital.
Yeah, so hopefully she'll make a good recovery. I think she's doing okay. She's pulling through now.
Well, she's had really very difficult time in the last few years.
Mm-hmm.
Much of the time she's confined to a wheelchair. And, but she doesn't lose the sparkle. She's still incredible. She comes at me like you can't believe it. I love it. And it's okay. I can live with it. In the documentary, I love when she says, well, he's a genius and he made the show, but he's still a prick. and only Matilda could say that. And only she could say it and get away with it with me. But she, we owe a lot to Matilda because it was centered around Matilda, how the format of the original Glow came about was really centered around Matilda.
Mm-hmm.
And, it was a match that Matilda, she did the pilot, and she did some things in the pilot that I started to change a little bit and follow a certain route because of her. So I always credit her as being the one who started the foundation of the original Glow.
Mm-hmm. Certainly.
And she was maybe the only really at that time. She was really the only real member of a group that had wrestled professionally before.
And I think Tina Ferrari went on to become a WWE World Wrestling Entertainment.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
But
yes,
I think you're right. Other than them, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, well, but Tina didn't start out.
Oh, she started with Glow first, didn't she?
Yeah, she started, and she got her initial training from Glow.
Yeah, she went the other way. Was it Mondo Guerrero?
She was with Mondo, who trained a lot of the Glow girls at first. And I think he, along with McLean, didn't agree with my take on what the show should be, and they backed off. I mean, McLean left too, but I always loved McLean in the center of the ring with his tuxedo on. He looked like he should be on top of a wedding cake. and he was very good, really good.
Yeah, everyone fit their part just perfectly, respectively.
Yeah, they really did, and but it was a part he didn't want to play. and he didn't want the show to be at that. He wanted serious wrestling,
Mm-hmm.
and he still does. I hope he eventually finds something that'll be successful with it. Because I never was a wrestling fan. I got into doing the show because of a friend of mine who was financing it, and I always felt that yes, I'm not crazy about women's football. I mean, I love football. But women's football just isn't up to it. And we Americans, we always want the best of everything. We loved the T-Bird years ago, but we still think the Ferrari is fantastic. So we want the best of a certain thing. And when it came to wrestling, when you look at, at that time, I guess it was the WWE, you look at some of these characters and the athleticism of these professional wrestlers, I think they're the greatest athletes in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're greater than football players. I think they're greater than, they're incredible. The things they do, in the ring, and what they do with their bodies, and the way they fly, and the way they land, and the way, a woman just so far doesn't seem like they can come up to that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so if you want to watch real wrestling, if you want to really be entertained by the sport or the being of wrestling, you've got to watch these men do it because they're tremendous. And so I always felt, if you're going to go for something, go for the best. You want to buy a car, you want to buy an American car, you buy a Cadillac.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to go for the best, then you go for the men wrestling because that is the best wrestling. Now, it doesn't mean that the ladies don't do terrific things. The Glow Girls they grew into terrific things.
Mm-hmm.
And they had terrific matches. But I think if you wanted to watch more exciting wrestling, you had to watch the men.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
That's always been my... So why have women unless it's sexism?
Mm-hmm.
Unless it has a sexist base to it, but that's a psychological takeoff. In any event, let's not get into that. I'm sure I'm going to start getting some tough letters now from the feminists. I made a film called Hundra,
mm-hmm.
which now seen, and Hundra is seen as a great feminist film.
Oh, yeah.
And it is a feminist film. And it was, and then things developed. Tarantino did a fabulous job with Kill Bill.
Mm-hmm.
Kill Bill is maybe some of the greatest films ever made. So you have that, as an argument to what I'm saying, so maybe it'll get there. But one thing is for sure, it's not there now.
Mm-hmm. They're few and far between, you're right.
Why, if you want to see great wrestling moves, why wouldn't you, and you had 2 channels going, and you really wanted to see stuff that lifted you out of your chair with action, you're going to watch the men.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
And that comes, as a being.
Mm-hmm.
And the WWE is it. No matter what their present problems are, it's still the most entertaining wrestling you can watch.
Mm-hmm. Very true. No argument there. You're right. Well, Matt, I got to say, this half hour has flown by really fast. Thank you so much for being able to do another one of these with us. And congratulations with your new project upcoming with Snoop Doggy with the Candy Tangerine Man. We'll be on the lookout for that. And as well, of course, of Flow, too. So definitely keep us posted on that. And next time we talk to you here, hopefully we will see those come into fruition.
You got it.
Well, all right.
Thank you for your wishes, and wish you a Happy New Year as well.
Oh, thank you so much, Matt. And we hope to talk to you soon, and take care.
You got it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.